and welcome to The Queen's Blades, a Tales of the Valiant actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Colin, what happened last time?
We fought.
It's true.
We rushed back towards the courtyard and did not make it before being accosted by a fiend and a mage. And we poked the fiend to death, and the mage poofed and did not get to death at all. And we tried to get back. We made it as far as the top of the wall, and we saw that the balcony that the speeches had been performed on is now the site of some kind of substantial attack, and everything is a flurry as we are racing towards it to find out what we missed.
The combat was actually a lot cooler than that, but
It was a lot of poking. It was a lot of poking.
Awesome. It's true. You stabbed the thing many times.
So many times. You stabbed me half that many times. It's over.
So that thing was resistant to damage from non-magical weapons, and it had 63 hit points, which means you guys dealt it over 126 damage over the course of that combat. So,
you want to tell us how many hit points that mage had?
Nope.
Because I poked a thing a whole lot and nothing happened.
You dealt him 67 points of damage, but I'm not going to tell you how many hit points he has.
You were the definition of shooters gotta shoot.
It's true.
You stayed shooting the whole time.
So, in a rush, you race across the open space. As you close on the cathedral, you can see that there is a cordon of members of the Silver Shield formed outside the shattered opening that now is in the wall below the balcony. Inside, you can see quite a lot of chaos, including definitely some forms heaped on the ground. And a couple draped across the banister of the stairway leading up. But you are first presented with the cordon of Silver Shields who are standing guard and looking out as you rush up. One of them puts a hand up and says, "That's far enough."
Not this again. Where is she?
Who?
Queen's Blades, we must to Our Lady.
Oh, here you are.
Okay.
Answer
Where
the
is
question.
she?
She's inside, under the protection of the Keeper and the Cardinals.
Thank you. Taliesin's going to move to go by.
Trifton has it. Same.
He hesitates for a moment and then steps aside and lets the three of you pass. You rush into the building. There's a very chaotic scene. There are at least 3 dead bodies wearing the armor of the Silver Shield. There are about 4 or 5 corpses that are dressed unfamiliarly. There's also a lot of gore just sort of splattered around the place. And as you come in, you hear, "There you are." And Zaro comes striding across the room. "You catch him?"
We did. It was a ruse. He was a distraction to do exactly what it appears as though he did.
And from across the room, you then hear, the heroic Queen's Blades return.
Yeah, your turn soon. Did you see where the attack originated? We encountered a mage on our way in. He fought with us as well as his demonic friend.
Zaro nods over to the heap of unfamiliar bodies. They were definitely spellcasters.
So from multiple then?
Yes.
Is the Blood Regent okay?
She's safe.
Were the attacks from within or exclusively from the outside?
I don't know where they came from. They must have been in the crowd or else they arrived by magic. Or were hidden by magic. I can be certain none of them were in the building before the attack, because Scaravogen would have seen them, whether they were invisible or hidden or whatever. But with the crowd outside, there's no way to have screened the whole crowd.
Where do you need us?
He gives an exasperated look, and turns, and you can see standing over under in the shade of the stairway. You can see Diani. Her dress is scorched around the base of the skirt, but she otherwise appears, and her hair is no longer in place, but she otherwise appears unharmed. The several members of the Silver Shields, including Sir Garrick Vaynar, are standing around her protectively, and the Cardinal is standing regarding you all sardonically.
Go ahead, Casey.
Do we recognize? You said the bodies in the strange clothing. Is it consistent at all?
It is not. Some of them have a mix of. Some of them are wearing some sort of. Some of them are wearing armor, though none of them are in like full knightly armor. Some of them have bits of armor. Some of them are just cloaked. They are they're in a motley. They're not in uniform, I guess, is what I mean.
Okay. And any similarity that I can see between them and the mage that disappeared?
Would you like to make an investigation check?
I would, yeah.
Okay. As you start to approach
otherwise
them,
you would just tell me.
as you start to approach them, one of the Silver Shields steps in the way and says, "No one's to tamper with these until the clerics have had an opportunity to examine them."
Trifton would...
I'm just looking.
Okay.
Well, keep a distance.
Can I investigate and keep a distance?
Not as successfully, but yes.
Okay. I'll try from here and then see whether or not I like the information I get.
What did you roll?
Sorry, Trifton. Oh, I rolled an 8. I really don't
Seems
like
about
the
right.
information that I got from
His
here.
bodies.
Yeah. So you can see from with an 8 what you can essentially just see without really getting an opportunity to look closely. You can see that these figures are very, as I said, dressed in a variety of clothing. Some of them armored. Most of them have are fairly obvious wounds. Some of them have fairly vicious-looking wounds, as if they were mauled terribly by some sort of monster. But yeah, what you see are a bunch of dead bodies. Some of them somewhat mangled.
Is the person who stopped me? I mean, this is a giant
Yep.
pile of dead bodies, right? Like, So,
It's not a giant pile, but it's it's 5 or 6 people.
okay.
We need to talk about the piles of bodies you encounter on the regular, Philip. There's a huge number of bodies.
It's a lot of body. All right.
I would like to take advantage of the chaos, and I said I would step back. I investigated, and now I'm rounding the bodies, and I would like to be on the opposite side of them as the guy who stopped me.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
$12. I get
as
to
you
add
try to
8.
as you try to edge in, the same silver shield turns and says, "Don't make me tell you again."
Or what?
I'll have you detained.
You have people to spare from protecting them to hold me from looking at some dead bodies?
To keep you from tampering with the crime scene, yes.
It's going to be another crime
What
scene.
a waste of resources.
I'm sorry. Are you telling us that these bodies all landed here? This is their point of deathly origin.
From aside, you can hear, "Yes, Master Silvervein, I can see that the Queen's Blade are a model of professionalism and decorum, yes. Brawling during the speeches, drunk before them, running off after random hooded individuals.
We
And
can hear
now, Oh yeah.
We
And
are
now
very nearly
making-
prepared to give you your attention, my love. Very nearly.
That is your grace to you.
Is this pulling any attention away from Murray at all? I am trying to keep this guard looking in my direction is my goal here. And
Well, he's not
bears.
the only guard is the problem. Like a scene is being made, and so what's happening is more to the effect that more of the guards are looking at you all.
Okay.
You were
Sure.
just belligerent to the Cardinal.
It do be like that.
Trifton is very agitated and pacing and on the edge of letting loose and ready for a fight. Ready
Wild
to fight
card.
everyone here.
I would take an insight check from anyone who cares to make one.
I'm all right at that. I have 5. If anyone,
I have 6.
nice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, find mine.
I cannot roll anything in this encounter. I just am going to go sit in the corner.
Oh.
13.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. 17.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks. We'll see.
Taliesin, you catch a warning glance from Zaro. Murray, you're really angry at these people. And
I am really angry at them.
maybe a little angry at you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Taliesin Taliesin regards the look and feigns taking a cap off, bowing to the Cardinal, and turns back to Zaro.
The Cardinal dismisses you from his attention and turns back to Regent Diani.
I think he believes he won that.
Your Highness, I'm afraid I must insist that you return to the palace until this matter is resolved and the perpetrators apprehended. It is clear that amidst the crowd of this sort, you cannot be or will not be successfully protected by your guards.
Taliesin stares at Zaro.
Yeah.
Trifton does what?
Is going to need to be held back at this moment. Unless...
What does that mean? What happens? What does Trifton do?
Trifton is struggling with the fact that they had neglected to tell the group about the deception, and they're feeling extremely responsible for what is happening. And I would say at this moment, Trifton will roar and pull out the bow staff and start running toward the Cardinal.
Taliesin raises his hand as
amazing.
Trifton begins moving. I don't know if that will do anything, but just a halting, calm down, Hulk moment.
So, what happens? Yeah. So several things happen. One, Garrick Banar starts to draw a sword and interpose himself between you and the Cardinal. And the Cardinal, hearing the roar, turns towards you and holds up a hand. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
We're breathing. Saving throw. Oh no! No! So sorry, that's a 6.
You just stop. You take a couple of angry paces forward, and the Cardinal holds a hand up, and you just stop. Sees everything, stops. Sir Garrick, please escort the Blood Regent and Master Silvervein back to the palace. Disarm her guards, return them to the palace under guard, and confine them to barracks. Diani steps forward and says, Your Grace, this is unreasonable. These are my guards. They are under the authority of the Council of Cardinals, of which I am currently the representative. We have evidently been far too lax in enforcing that authority. And he shoots the other two of you a glance. Now, will there be trouble?
Taliesin is not turned to him. He is still staring at Zaro. No acknowledgement to the Cardinal.
Murray does look at the Cardinal and say, Not today.
Excellent. And please surrender your weapons so we can be certain there will be no further attempts at violence.
Oh my god, I hate this so much.
One would almost begin to think you were involved in this matter, so quick to attack officials of the church.
I don't think anybody's thinking that.
A couple of Silver Shields come forward and hold out their hands for your weapons.
Unsurprisingly, Philip.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Trifton.
Mm-mm.
I would like to. Can I roll insight? Like, I'm trying to read how much I can test without starting a fight here.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
What'd you roll?
11. Well, I
Murray,
rolled a
thanks for fighting.
5.
Boy, this is a chaotic scene.
It is. It is. Sorry. This is a hard decision as a player trying to figure out what.
Crozin looks over at Trifton and says, "Now, will there be any further trouble?" And he relaxes his hand, and you're able to move again.
Oh my God. Trifton is shaking with rage at this point, but is able to at least turn back and look at Taliesin.
Taliesin, still staring at Zaro, raises one eyebrow as if giving him one more opportunity to restrain him.
Zaro Zaro makes a sort of gesture. Just puts his hands up. Just a slightly conciliating gesture.
Does I imagine Trifton sees this?
Sure.
Okay. I think Trifton would allow themselves to relax a hair, but turn their back to the Cardinal and head toward Zaro because they are not going to give their weapon.
A member of the Silver Shields intercepts you and holds out a hand. Hand over your weapons.
I am doing my best here to maintain my calm.
You heard the Cardinal.
No.
Trifton looks up at Murray.
I will happily go alongside with you back to the palace. But obviously, there is a bigger threat than was anticipated. And so, everything and everyone that we can utilize to protect, what would she be called? Her Grace? He is
Her
His
Highness.
Grace. Her Highness.
Her Highness.
We should be utilizing absolutely everything and anything to protect her.
The Cardinal takes a couple of steps towards you. Perhaps it has crossed your mind by now that had she not been under the protective coverage of the Keeper and my guards, Her Highness would currently be dead. Because her protectors were not present. they were chasing someone for the crime of looking dodgy. Furthermore, one of your number just made a very evident attempt to harm me here in the Cathedral of the Silver Flame. Maybe that's just a flaw in recruitment policies. But either you hand over your weapons and are escorted back to your lodgings, where you will remain while the Silver Shields manage this crisis, or I will have you clapped in irons.
And scene. Excellent work, everyone. We are all very tense in this moment, and I can appreciate what is happening. Your Grace, apologies for disrespect previously. I completely understand where you're coming from. We certainly were not here. We were chasing down a lead which would appear to have been dead had we not encountered a mage who we definitely believe to have been involved in the attack. I would dare say the best use of us as a resource, shoddy and disappointing as we are, would be to send us further away. The barracks is far too close for what you're attempting here to maintain the safety of Our Lady. Allow us the opportunity to carry on outside of the need for immediate protection. We would love to be useful in our own somewhat clumsy way out of your hair. And I would like to attempt to persuade him to let us
You may make
away.
a persuasion check.
25.
Oh, yes!
Whoa.
So your proposal is that having left your post while drunk,
No.
and after
what?
attempting to brawl with my guards in the middle of your
I
patron's
never.
speeches,
I had nary a problem with your guards, Your Grace.
that your proposal is to now go further away
My
from
proposal
your protectee.
would be best listed as conceding that protection appears to have been a stronger forte of you and your most excellent defenders here, and investigation is where we clearly felt ourselves called. Perhaps that would be a better use of us.
He glances back at Diani. I at least see why you keep this one around. Makes an excellent fool.
Truly that.
Turn over your weapons to my men and return to your quarters.
And then you will return them to us and we can carry on about investigating.
What was that roll? Murray, what you up to?
Oh, I'm just doing wisdom saving throws to determine whether or not Murray would make the wise choice or the not wise choice.
I see.
Murray succeeded in the middle there, which is why she did not
Oh no.
interrupt. But she's not feeling quite so wise as she was 30 seconds
go.
ago.
Let's go. Let's go.
What's crazy is I know Philip just wants us in the barracks, but this is just not about to happen. Shortest campaign ever, darling.
I'm going to say that
And so
Tristan.
Murray does what?
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's refusing. She's not giving up her she's not giving up her bow, and with a roll of 7 for wisdom, she's probably take it from me.
Okay. A couple of guards are going to try to do that. So they're going to try to grapple you. So I need you to make a strength or dex, or I guess athletics or acrobatics check, as they are going to attempt to grapple you.
Yep, that's consistent. 8.
Okay. Well, that's an 18. So a guard comes up behind you, grabs you by the shoulders, and basically just jams you down onto your knees. The other one yanks the bow out of your hand, and then the guard pulls your hands back behind your back and is going to shackle you.
Right.
Murray, or Trifton, however, said, and what does that mean?
That means the moment they made a move toward Murray, that was all Trifton needed. So Trifton is going to run to stop this from happening.
Okay. What do you do?
Trifton would want to attempt to stand in between. Now, you had already said that this happened, so if that's fine, but the idea would be to get in the middle.
Okay. So one of them has basically pushed Murray to her knees and is trying to cuff her. The other one is disarming her. What are you going to do?
I'm going to swing with the staff.
Okay.
No, excuse me. We're not going to go staff. We're just going to do an unarmed strike.
All right.
If possible.
Sure.
So just do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Please. Are we serious? Sorry, that's a 13.
Okay. So that doesn't hit. So what happens is this.
And I don't get my normal attack stuff, double, whatever the heck, because this is not in combat.
You would get 2 attacks in an action, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can.
Taliesin is unslinging his crossbow and his longbow, for the record. Not to attack. He is.
Oh, you're handing them over? Okay.
Yes. Those 2.
Second attack was an 18.
The 18 hits.
Do you want me to roll damage, or are we?
Uh-huh.
Okay, sorry. 6 bludgeoning.
All right. So you run over and what is this? Is it a fist, a claw? You just headbutting him?
I think we're gonna do. I do get the claws as part of the beastkin, unless it. Am I only able to choose either?
I think you pick one.
Okay, then that was that would have been my horns, but I didn't roll horns, so they would just be fists.
Okay. Yeah, you rush over and you punch a guard. At this point, I need all 3 of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Tell me under my dice.
Okay. Trifton and Taliesin, you are both paralyzed as High Cardinal Crozin casts Hold Person.
And I haven't taken a short rest, so I can't re-roll it?
Correct.
Okay.
The Cardinal turns back to the other one, cuffs Murray. The Cardinal turns back to Diani. Highness, this is what I've been saying. The quality of the Queen's blades has degraded beyond repair. When this matter is resolved, I will discuss dissolution with the Cardinals. For now, let us see you safely back to the palace, along with these miscreants that you tolerate for reasons beyond comprehension. Master Silvervein. He turns. Silver Shields will cuff Trifton and Taliesin, and
whose arms are full of his weapons.
Yeah, after disarming you, and you all are hauled over to a carriage and pretty roughly stuffed inside, followed by one of the Silver Shields who climbs in and sits down in the side facing you, and the carriage starts rumbling off.
In the process of having begun the disarming in the kerfuffle, I would like to say that I was maneuvering my sleeve to make sure that my wrist blade was pushed up out of sight, and I can
make a sleight of hand check.
That.
Yep.
My last point of luck here.
Do it. Yeah.
That'll be an 18.
Okay. You do manage to keep your wrist blade in the chaos.
Awesome.
Zaro looks over at Murray, who's the only one who's not under magical compulsion as she's being loaded into the cart, and says, "Talk when we get back." And he then climbs in with Diani. So, you all are driven by coach across the city. The streets are mostly clear now, as most people have gone indoors. You've all been kind of shuffled into this carriage, not really like seated, and so whoever has an eye on a window can see that there are guards out on the street patrolling quite heavily. But it doesn't take as long because of the lack of crowds to get back. There are a couple places where you stop and go through checkpoints, but after a few minutes, you are driven back through the gate of the palace, which closes behind you. The carriage door opens, and you all are hauled out again. Garrick Baynar looks at the men and says, "Find a cellar to lock them in or something." And at that point, Zaro walks over. "No, that will be enough. The point's been made. They're thoroughly humiliated. We are all decently embarrassed. And we are back where the Cardinal asked us to be. So, you can take the shackles off now and let my people go about their business. And you can go about yours." Who would like to roll a d20 for Zaro's intimidation check?
Not me.
We know.
Sounds like it's
We
me.
know.
Sounds
We
like
don't
it's
want me to
called.
roll it.
17.
All right.
17.
That's loud.
Well
I
done.
would like you to also go ahead and roll 3d6 and add it to that roll.
Wow.
Diani will use her royal
15.
inspiration ability.
Let's
15.
go.
Garrick looks like he's about to try to pull rank, and then thinks better of it, and will unshackle each of you.
Can I have one retcon moment here to roll an attempt on something that happened in the carriage?
Okay.
I would like a sleight of hand roll with my wrist blade to have picked my shackles. I'd like to hand them to him.
Okay. You can make a sleight of hand roll. Doing this while shackled and doing it with your wrist blade, I'm going to say is with disadvantage.
Okay.
But you can totally do it.
You got this. You got this. You got
Well,
this.
I don't think I do.
16.
16 is my
16
disadvantage
is the lower
roll.
number. Okay. Sure. You have the shackles undone and can hand them to
I'd like to hand him
Sir
my
Garrick.
shackles. There you are, love.
I love this.
Garrick turns to his escort and says, I want men on the gates. I want men on the walls. Silver shields only. We don't know who else is in on this. And then he stalks off back towards the gate.
So de-escalation perhaps is a future conversation that we as a group get into.
I feel like the fact that nobody's dead is de-escalation enough.
I believe a standard should be reevaluated for that.
We do realize that the mage is still out there.
Well, yes, we realize this. However, we've hindered our ability to participate in that at this particular moment.
Do they know that the mage is still out there?
Surely,
I don't.
because they bought it.
Zorro looks the three of you over. I will want a report on what you saw. But just so we're clear, nothing about that made her look good. Nothing about that helped her cause. The only thing we're closer to right now is the dissolution of the regiment. Clean yourselves up. 15 minutes in the dining hall. And he turns and follows after Diani, who has gone inside.
Taliesin checks to see if he was disarmed of his flask.
You were not.
No drink, just making sure it's there. Feel better. The baby's close.
Trifton takes a moment and says, I'm going to need to go spend some time alone. I need to get myself centered again.
I just realized I
See you in
said 15
15
minutes at the dining hall. That's absurdly short amount of time, considering
Okay.
what he told you to go clean yourselves up.
Okay.
We'll say an hour, a short rest.
I was like, this is as clean as I'm getting.
Wonderful.
Yeah, a short rest from now in the dining hall. That was, yeah.
So Trifton's going to want to go meditate.
Sure.
I will leave to my room to clean up and in total embarrassment and humiliation.
Ditto. What are these rolls?
My hit die for short rest.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, when I clicked the rest, it made me roll them individually.
So as you all disperse to your rooms, so the rooms you have here are all a very old version of opulent. This place has not been, updated to be maintained in a stylish way. But it's the opulence of the old century. So just ridiculous sized 4-poster beds with canopies and things like that. Huge wardrobes, big fireplaces, but everything's kind of shabby. It looks like a place that would be super haunted. So you are each able to get off to your rooms. As you collect yourselves, cover, dress wounds in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Trifton, as you're meditating on your purpose, trying to recenter yourself, how did Trifton come to be in the Queen's Blades?
So Trifton grew up in the Eldine Reaches and was fascinated with the martial arts at a young age and went into study. And as the years went by and there were stories of what had happened with the Silver Flame and the Shifters way back when, that gave Trifton a goal for their study. And when the Blood Regent took her place about 12 years ago, she became the object of Trifton's devotion, and they decided they needed to be a part of the Queen's Blades in order to protect the Regent and stand against the Church of the Silver Flame.
Okay, cool. That's very interesting. Awesome. How's Taliesin feel about all of this as it has just gone down?
Very confused and interested to hear from his companions, because while he was snarky and disrespectful, can't help but think that we started something we couldn't finish. But that thought soon fades into how long it has been since he was incapable of charming someone with his charisma, and wondering why it was that the Cardinal was so dead set against sending the fool away.
And you are not, of course, confined to your rooms in the hour. If you
Taliesin didn't go to
confer
a room
with one another. Ah, where did Taliesin go?
He stayed exactly where he was, waiting for the other two to come back. He, I assume, was not confused about where they were going to head, and so he is humming to himself as he's pacing back and forth and really wishing he'd brought his loot with him, but didn't expect to be arrested in a barracks. So
what about Murray?
I'm sorry, what about Murray?
What's Murray doing?
She goes and cleans up. She's sort of acting like a mad teenager. You know, like you can hear every step down the hall. Every door that she opens and closes is unnecessarily loud.
And these are, of course, gigantic, heavy wooden doors, so it's like boom.
It's super cathartic.
Yeah, they slam real good.
God, I haven't slammed a door in so long. I should do that.
So she gets cleans up. She's pacing. I guess if Taliesin is saying that we're meeting back, then she would do so quickly, and on her way back, just clarify, we're going to check on the guard posts, right?
Oh, I would say most certainly, but
Okay.
I do believe our opportunity to think for ourselves may be suspended ever so briefly.
Well, it was quickly taken from us in that room.
I dare say it was volunteered, though. What was the goal? I understand that I speak in a bit of a brash manner, which is off-putting to some, but
You mean the way that you just directly insulted the Cardinal?
yes, that's so. But
Okay.
I did not, however, act out in physical rebellion. What was to be gained from that?
Well, I definitely didn't want the Cardinal to just watch me easily give up and quit. I think he's dangerous, and I would like to appear, as much as I failed to do so, but I would like to have some show of strength, perseverance, fortitude
I can
presented
certainly
before him.
understand that. That's why I am attempting to present ineptitude, aloofness, as though I am not someone who's considering him to be the very source of the vile actions today. But rebellion is going to be something that when we physically strike out against his men, we are outmatched in that room.
Absolutely. But I will not show Our Lady that I will just willingly set down before her.
I can appreciate this, and I'm not disagreeing with that as a principle, love. I do think that perhaps given the scope of the day, not laying down in a fight that we didn't ourselves make might have been the more noble pursuit for us.
But we were going to end up in the same position either way. He was going to send us to our room without dinner if I refused or didn't.
Very likely, yes. However, we could have potentially given her the opportunity to have reined her rapscallions in, as opposed to allowing him to exert authority over Our Lady.
I can appreciate that from this side of the conversation. But during it, I didn't know that they weren't going to try to murder her right there. There was a lot of them in that room, and there were only the four of us. I wasn't convinced that they were going to kill her right there.
I would like to be clear. You will notice I didn't disagree with you at all in the moment. This is simply post-mortem of the situation. That's all. I until we were being disarmed, was not disarmed. I just wanted to keep something on me in the fray, but I was simply trying to learn in this moment where your head was at in that. Not from a place of judgment or disagreement by any means.
My head in there was, if she is in the same room as the Cardinal, I would like to be armed.
I see great sense in that. I can appreciate that. Staying on the now changing topic, I find it a little odd that the Cardinal insisted that we be sent away to a specific location as opposed to just out of sight. I'm usually a much better read of people to be able to get them to give me what I want. And he remained insistent.
Yeah, he did not like really anything you said to him.
This is true. It's been a very long time since I've encountered this.
Oh. It happens to me all the time.
I think I should have drank more.
I do not think you should have had anything to drink.
Well, we must maintain, mustn't we?
What? What must we maintain?
Ourselves. Our status quo. You encounter every combat stone sober.
Yes.
Fascinating.
100% so far.
I don't believe I'll be trying that, but it is fascinating to me.
Say about now, Trifton can come downstairs after meditating.
Okay.
If they would.
Yes. When Trifton returns, they're in the normal casual headspace that you often see them in. And they walk up and I'm sorry. I regret my actions from before. I don't usually lose control like that. I felt really responsible for what had happened because I neglected to tell you that the message from Tira included deception. That there was deception afoot, and because I hadn't shared that, I feel responsible for what happened because we took off after what was clearly a decoy.
Well, it's only clearly a decoy once it's been uncovered.
Yes, we just had a conversation about how it's so much easier to see things on this side of them.
That is true.
I don't know that we still wouldn't have chased after them.
I certainly would. I can guarantee. I would have, yes.
So, should one of us have stayed while the others were chasing?
Probably.
This is, again, easy to think from the other side, but I also don't believe we'd have fared as well not being a trio in the encounter on the return. So, sort of an all for one sort of a scenario here. Maybe one for all.
Please take a luck point.
That's a good motto.
I actually don't think so. I think that
Please also take a luck point.
I laughed so hard, so fast, I'm lightheaded.
I think that fight would have ended the exact same way had I not been there and stayed behind.
Oh,
Y'all.
for you, perhaps, but for me, I don't believe I'd have fared as well had the mage been paying his attention to just of the two of us.
I'm so glad to have been there, to have been a distraction.
Indeed.
That was the plan.
Sure.
No, y'all, I mean, you fought and defeated that gigantic blue fiend. Like, that was fantastic.
It really worries me, though, that we have no idea if that mage is still within the castle walls.
Oh, yeah. No, I hate that they disappeared.
Yes.
And I have no idea where they went. And they seemed unbothered by my assault on them. Amused, maybe?
Oh, that's never good.
I would very much like to find them and kill them.
Do you think this is something that Scaravogen might be able to assist with?
I don't believe there's any way, on a day like today especially, that my dearest Vogen will be separated from his liege.
Well, I'm not saying we separate them. I'm saying we go to them.
To do what?
Well, we can't talk directly to Scaravogen, but I feel like we could ask maybe through the Keeper whether, I don't know, she could loan him out. We have a very invisible, very dangerous mage that is a threat.
I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Murray, I don't believe we have any reason to believe they were invisible. They disappeared, which is not the same. I don't believe he occupied that location any longer.
Yes, and then how do we know where he is going to show up the next time?
Right.
It's kind of the tension of it all.
We don't know any of those things. I'm not sure that we can ask to borrow. I have this
Scaravogen.
A
I am
dragon
certain
hound.
we cannot. we
Scarjo-
could ask.
Uh,
Scaravogen.
Scaravogen. That will be the death of me. I will try very hard and try very hard, and I won't get it any time. I'm so sorry. And just specifically today, I don't think that we should leave here, nor do I think that we're allowed to.
Oh, those are two different things. Love.
They are two very different things. We're not allowed to. I am confident of that. And then also, I don't think that we should leave Her Highness today after that seemingly very direct attack on her.
So you're of the mind that they will be coming here to where we are and not anticipating where we will be summoned to next.
That is what I think we should prepare for. I think if we leave, it provides opportunities.
I believe that when we are taken from here is the next time she will truly be vulnerable. The Cardinal would be, or whoever, would be completely outrageous to stage a murder in this location where he has sent us to. But when we are summoned to the next location to be placed under inquiry, or we are taken before a council or sent back, that is when she will be the most vulnerable. I don't believe that whoever would make an assassination attempt while we're directly under his keep. That would be outrageous if it were he or whoever.
If somebody kills her here and we are gone, it absolutely supports his argument to completely get rid of the Queen's Blades.
If
I mean, I
somebody
guess we
kills
don't
her at
exist
all,
if she's
we're
dead
gone.
anyways. Right. Priority one, keep her alive.
I feel we should have had this as an established goal well before this conversation. I'm not certain what your recruitment was, but that was very clearly communicated to me, darling. I am of the mind that were she to have an attempt made here, that would directly violate his authority and would make him and his tribe to appear as though they are incapable of maintaining order, control, or providing protection. But once we are dismissed from here, that is where she will appear the most vulnerable.
I really don't like making plans based on what the Cardinal may or may not think.
I fear that is how chess is played, love. We are finding ourselves in a game well above what we're accustomed to playing.
Player question, where is the Keeper? Where does she stay?
She has quarters in the cathedral. You don't know where she is right this minute.
So she would not be in the castle, though.
No, she does not live in the palace.
Okay.
The palace is the palace is the residence of the royal family.
Right. Well, it's better to make decisions on a full stomach. Should we go get something to eat at least first?
I do believe we're enjoying each other's company for as much usefulness as it will serve before we are informed of what we should think. I say we join our betters and have that meal.
All right. So you all head in through the doors and around a couple of bends to a so there's actually like a state dining hall in the palace, but you have never eaten there. Maybe sometime when like Diani hosted a gala or something like that in your time here, but most of the time when you are here, you don't use it. There's not nearly enough people. It looks sad when it's that few people. But there is a smaller dining room that is previously a library. So there's lots of bookshelves and things like that with old books on them, and a small or reasonably sized dining table has been placed along the center of the room. Diani has changed. She is in much more simple, practical clothing rather than the gown for occasions. She is walking up and down the table, flicking the fan open and shut as she does. Zorro is standing by the fire, smoking a pipe. When you all come in, Diani turns towards you all and regards you for a long moment. What do you think was gained by that display?
Nothing, Your Grace.
Not by us. Not by me. Just by Coulson. Another argument for the dissolution of the Queen's Blades, the extension of my protection to be the responsibility of the Silver Shields. One more step to him having an excuse to place spies in my household. To relegate me to nothing but a figurehead. With no freedom of action. It embarrassed me. And to speak plainly, in better days, when there were more, in my mother's days, you would have been out of the regiment. Attacking the Cardinal. Today was a disaster. And she walks over to a sideboard and begins putting some food on her plate.
My lady, if I may be so bold as to speak.
Yes.
The method with which it was accomplished is far less graceful, tactful, or respectful than you deserve. However, I must say, I feel as though finding yourself secured in the quarters under the direction of the Cardinal may be the most advantageous in this moment, from my perspective. I have been discussing with my companions. I feel, if we are all of the same mind, that the Cardinal is himself involved in this action. Being in a place in which he has placed his name on your safety might be the only place you truly are for this moment.
It's hard to imagine Clausen being even Clausen being that bold. He endangers the keeper. Zorro. There are. Of course, if something happened to the keeper, he'd lose the only veto on his power. No, I do not think even that. Even from him.
My lady, as someone quite familiar with the sensation, I have known men to have found nothing more intoxicating than power.
Regardless. Perhaps. But with a little more restraint, we might have arrived here. I might have arrived escorted by my own guards.
Yes, Your Grace.
And there might not be silver shields on the gate. But cannot change the past. So, what did you encounter? She sits down and begins eating. Zorro remains by the fire, smoking his pipe.
We recount, I assume. Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Emphasis on how cool it was. Like, from the pinning the dude, how, like, charming and swashbuckly we were, and then the fight, like it.
Right.
Yeah.
When you finish, Zorro nods for a moment and then says, "The attack don't know where it started, but well, Crozen's assessment, which you did not get to hear. Crozen's assessment was they're agents of the Knights Arcane, or the Royal Eyes from Ondair. The Knights Arcane are an elite military force in the nation of Ondair, which is to the north and west of Thrain. The Royal Eyes are the intelligence agency of Ondair. But an attack like that in the cathedral, suicidal. Crozens no pushover as a wielder of the flame. Jaela's young, untrained, but I've never seen her have to defend herself, but I've seen some of the things she can do. I would not want to see it. And Scaravogin is Scaravogin. There were at least 8. And, well, there were at least 8. Only 6 of them had bodies when it was over. And there were probably, around the cathedral, 40 or 50 silver shields. It's insanity. It was suicide. I can't work the logic of it. So, something is up. I don't know what it is, but something is up. And had you maintained a tighter grip on your horses, I might have negotiated your participation in the investigation and access to the crime scene, pushed him to share information. As it is, you'll have to be sneaky. We are in a very dangerous position. Make no mistake. It would be difficult for Closen to act openly against me, but the crisis gives him more leeway to restrain my movements. And to an extent yours. Especially now. But we need to know what has happened. We need to know who they were. You said there was a fiend. Where did it come from?
Do we have this answer?
No.
In front of us, it was there, approaching and engaging us.
It's very strange. There was nothing like that with us. If you were going to summon creatures from other planes, why not do it at the target of your attack? This is certainly not how I would assassinate Closen or myself or Jaela if I, for some reason, wanted to. There were other opportunities. En route, we were in carriages. A well-placed fireball. Here, where this morning, if someone wanted to kill me, it would be easy to predict that I would come here first. There were relatively few guards until Closen arrived. Closen is well protected. No one better protected than Giella when she is in the presence of the flame. But all three together in the cathedral, surrounded by guards, with Scaravogin, with Giella in the very presence of the flame, and hundreds of witnesses. Why?
So do you believe it was intended to be a failed attempt? A spectacle?
That or incredibly overconfident or ill-informed. How could an assassination leave Scaravogin out of their calculations? He cannot be charmed, he cannot be frightened. It sees through any illusion. Also, it has a failsafe. If a Keeper of the Flame is slain, Scaravogin will know the distance and direction to the killer. A Keeper was assassinated during the war. Scaravogin tracked him across the continent, killed him, and then returned.
So you're not believing it was an assassination attempt at all?
It is either that or the worst planned assassination attempt that I can think of.
Then we must find what else happened at that moment of distraction.
Yes. Or what use can be made of it. Knowing who they are, confirming the identity or disproving it. Where did the fiend and why there? We need answers. We cannot get permission to get them. I will try to get an audience with Giella. This will be a better opportunity to free your hands somewhat. But in the meantime, find out what you can. Do not give the Cardinal an excuse to kill you. Out of my presence, I believe he would have done exactly that. Certainly, Clifton would be dead. So be careful. Right. Eat something. She sits down and begins to eat. And as you get some food and think towards next steps, we will wrap this this episode up. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this. If you'd like to get in touch with us,
according to plan,
you can do so in comments below. Or you can also find links to our Discord, our merch store, and all the other things done by these lovely people. New episodes of The Queen's Blades come out on Monday, and until next time, thanks for rolling with us.